Good Sunday morning, Facebook friends. What a beautiful day it is. I wanted to let y'all know that I'm going to be making my Sunday lunch. So what I'm going to do is y'all just stay with me in the kitchen and cook with me for Sunday, and that would be great. And at 10:45, you can watch the same service that I watch. I go to Bethany Baptist Church in Andalusia, Alabama, and they broadcast our service online. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And it comes on at 10:30 our time, and it's under Bethany Andalusia. And so if you look that up, you can see my church and my pastor and my song leader and our youth director, and you'll hear a good message this morning and good music. And so let's praise together this morning. But while I'm waiting on that to start, I'm going to go ahead and start my Sunday lunch. So today we're going to have some Mexican cornbread. So I have measured out a heaping cup, not just one cup, but a heaping cup of White Lily self-rising cornmeal. All right, and then to that I'm going to add 2 jalapeno peppers. I got these at the Wingards Market. And you know, they say on the jalapeno pepper that the hot part is the seed and the flavor is the other part. So what I'm going to do, I've got me a napkin right out here. I'm going to cut out that hot part of the seed. I'm not going to have any seeds in it. And I'm going to put them on this napkin and just throw them in the trash can. And listen, if you don't have a place that you can get some fresh jalapeno peppers, just buy those in the jar. Some of them's already cut up, so all you got to do is just drain them and add them. But I'm going to put 2 in this. We love Mexican cornbread. But anyway, I don't want to touch my eyes. I can tell you this when I finish doing this. I'm going to put all my little seeds right in here so they'll be out of the way. I can smell it. My nose might start running. I might have to get me a napkin. This is some hot stuff. Okay, now then I'm going to close this up right here and put it in my trash can over there, so I won't have to smell it or look at it anymore. All right, here's my cut up jalapeno peppers, and I fixed to do them in little tiny strips. Y'all know how I say to do that. Just go down, down, down like this. You don't put you just have a very, very sharp knife, and I'm just doing these little tiny slivers like this. You don't have to put them on, and cut them like that. You don't have to do that. Just kind of slide it in. If you've got a good sharp knife, then that's the main thing. I've got one granddaughter this morning is going to pitch a fit because she doesn't even like cornbread. She wants biscuits, so who knows, I may make a few just for her. It won't take but a minute. She's a senior, so she won't be here to eat with me next after a year, because she'll be gone to college somewhere, I imagine. She'll be missing her Big Mama's cooking. That's what she'll be doing. She'll be missing Big Mama's cooking. She'll have to get her a little place with a kitchen so she can do her own cooking. All right, then you put them in a little thing like that, and you cut them real small like this. See, this is so easy. It's easy, y'all. I'm going to tell you, if you don't learn anything else in the kitchen, one of the most important things to learn is how to use a good sharp knife, because you'll be slaving if you slaving over it if you can't cut it like this. You'll just take too much time. It's easier this way. This is going to make a lot of peppers. I hope everybody's ready for some jalapeno peppers this morning. All right, so we've got a heaping cup of cornmeal in there. We've got 2 jalapeno peppers, and wasn't that quick and easy? Look at that. Yes, it's quick and easy. Put it in. Okay, now I'm going to put I put 2 jalapeno peppers, 2. Now I'm going to put in 3 green onions that I've already washed and cleaned. I'm going to cut them in half, then put them like this, and then I'm going to make some little tiny slivers of it. Put us 3 green onions in there. All right. Y'all remember the other day when I told you I drank all that coffee? Well, I drank it late in the afternoon, and I'm telling you, I didn't sleep a wink. I'm going to quit doing that. It had caffeine in it, and lo and behold, I was up at 2 o'clock, 2:30 really. Could not sleep. You live and learn, don't you? Looks like as old as I am, I'd know that by now. All right, there's 3 little green onions. Now, wasn't that easy? Yes, it was. Throw it in. Okay. Now then, what you do, some people put cream-style corn in mine, but I prefer the kernels, and I've already drained that. Just some kind of corn that's in your grocery, and I drained mine, so I'm going to put a thing of corn in it. I don't like the cream style because it seems like it makes it gummy, and I just don't like that. All right, so this is what we've got in it. Okay, I'm gonna give that a little quick stir right here, and you know buttermilk's gonna go in it, but I'm just doing this part right now. Okay, next thing I'm gonna put in is some cheese. Now you can use whatever kind of cheese you've got. I'm gonna put in probably 3 or 4 different kinds today. I've got that much cheddar, so I haven't got really enough. So I'm gonna put a handful of cheddar cheese in it. There we go. Put a handful of that. I've got a little bit of mozzarella cheese. I think I'll use a little of that. I might put a handful of that. About like that. Okay. And I've got a little bit of this pepper jack cheese, pepper jack, and but it came in a block, so I'm gonna just grate a little bit real quickly and put me some pepper jack in there. I bet that'd be delicious in there. Have I ever put pepper jack in it before? No, I have not. See, when you're cooking, you don't have to go by a recipe, darling. You just kind of put some good stuff in there, and you're gonna come out with a good product. All right, I'm gonna do this, grate this a little bit right here. I'm going to grate a little bit, and I'm going to put that in there. I love pepper jack cheese. I think it'll make it taste really good. Okay, now to cook Mexican cornbread, it takes a longer time, so you want to set it on a lower temperature. You know, a lot of times I'll put mine on 500. Well, you don't with this. I'm going to cook it on 400. All right, here we go. I did just about 1/3 of that, so I've got me some pepper jack cheese. I'm going to put that in there. Now then, I am going to put just enough butter. Look how much we got now. We got a lot, haven't we? All right, I'm going to put just enough buttermilk in there to moisten it good, and then I'm going to put 1 egg. So, we'll go back over it, what's on it. Remember to always shake your buttermilk. All right, put a little bit of that in there. I'm going to stir it up, and then I'll show you. I don't know how much I'm going to put in it. You just got to kind of estimate on that little part, okay? All right. This is going to be good, y'all. Good Mexican cornbread. It's actually a meal in itself. I mean, I like to just have it with a glass of milk. Put a little bit more. Now I'll show y'all the consistency of it, okay? When I get it all stirred up. Okay, I'm gonna break 1 egg and beat it up, and I'm gonna put it in there. Okay, that's it. All right, so let's go over what we put in it. A heaping cup of self-rising cornmeal, and I use White Lily. 1 can of drained whole kernel corn. 2 jalapeno peppers without the seeds. A few hands full of cheese, whatever kind you happen to have in your house. What else? 1 egg, some buttermilk. I'll let you see kind of how that looks. See, about like that. Can you tell? 1 egg and then some buttermilk. All right, now this is a very important part. Is greasing this skillet. Now you want to make sure you grease it good because you're going to you don't want it to stick on the sides or the bottom or anywhere else. I'm going to put plenty of it in there. This will make a good crunch to your little thing. All right, here I go. Now surely that won't stick. I hope not. When I dump it out, you'll see whether it does or not. Let me wash my hands off. I kind of have to hurry on Sunday mornings because you got preaching, I got family coming over. It is a busy time. All right, so now I'm going to pour my batter into my skillet. Spread it around just a little bit. Y'all, this is, it is delicious. It's gonna be good. All right, I'm gonna cook it on 400 degrees, and when I take it out of the oven, I'm gonna let you see it, okay? Love y'all. Bye-bye. This is our Sunday dinner. Bye-bye. Another thing we're gonna have for our Sunday dinner today is we're gonna have some sweet tea. So I bought the decaffeinated kind. We use that, but anyway, I'm gonna make a pitcher full. I'll show you the pitcher. I'm gonna make this full, and it holds probably a couple of quarts, something like that. So I'm gonna put 4 of these. 3, 4. I think I'll put 5 in because I want it kind of strong today. And I've got my water, and I'm going to bring that to a boil. And when it starts boiling, I'm going to turn it off and let it steep. That means just let it sit there till I'm about ready to pour it up. So I'm going to pour that. I've got that going, and then we're going to put our sugar in there while that's hot so that the sugar melts really good. So I've got that going. So we're going to have some sweet tea with our Sunday meal. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Hey Facebook friends, another thing we were going to have for our Sunday dinner today is we were going to do a meatloaf. And I took this out of the freezer last night, put it over there, and let it late last night so it would be thawed this morning. So when I got up this morning and to fix the meatloaf, I looked on the package and it said sausage. So I'm going to make up a recipe similar to meatloaf, except I'm going to do it with sausage. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. But you know, sometimes when you're in the kitchen and you do something wrong, then you have to make lemonade out of lemons, or when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Well, that's one of these mornings this morning. So I'm going to see what I can create this morning with this sausage instead of having beef. And so I fixed to try it. When I think of sausage, I kind of think of Italian kind of flavors, so that's what I'm going to go with this morning. I put my meat in my bowl, all right? I'm going to add, I think I'm going to put some bell pepper in it. I think that'll be good, so I'm going to put a few pieces of bell pepper. I've already washed this, y'all. Everything's good. I'm going to put a little bit of bell pepper in it, because I like a little bell pepper and everything. All right, let's put that in there. And I'm going to put some, I had this much of red pepper. That isn't much, but I'm going to use it. I got to use it in something, hadn't I? Okay, I'm going to cut that up. We're going to put it in. I don't know whether to salt that sausage or not. I think that I need to. And I don't want to taste it to see, so I'm going to put some salt and pepper in it. This may be delicious, And we may have to give it to my old dog Biscuit. She'll eat it. We don't know how it's going to turn out. But if it doesn't turn out good, we'll do something else with it. Give it to the birds. Somebody will eat it. A coyote, a raccoon. All right, so we got some red and green peppers we're going to put in there. I think I'll put a piece of an onion in it. That ought to be good. I think I'll cut it in half and just do half an onion. I think that's just what we need. I just can't believe it. It's not the first time I've done something crazy like that, and I'm sure it won't be the last. All right, our tea water's boiling. I need for you to come over here and look at this. See how it's boiling right here? All right, so I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to turn it off. Sometimes I like to mash the air bubbles out of the side of it. Just kind of do like that so the air goes out of the bag. Like that. And that way it'll go down in there. Okay. Now then, I've got it all. So I'm going to get a saucer. And I'm going to sit it on top of it. Take it off the eye. And just let it sit there and steep, all right? Everything's good. All right, let's go back over here to the whatever we're creating over here. All right, so let's put an onion in this sausage mixture. I'm trying to cut it real thin. My knife's beginning to get a little bit on the dull side. But I think this is my last thing to chop this morning, so I believe I'll just leave it be. You know, I've fixed a video on how to make a meatloaf. It's on my web page. Y'all, there's a lot of you saying that you don't know how to find me on Facebook. Well, let me tell you how to do that. Go to Facebook. Put in Cooking with Brenda Gantt. And then, when you find it, press follow. And every single time that I do a recipe, it's going to pop up on you, up there, and you can watch it. Or when you get to my page, you can scroll down and see every recipe that I've ever done. And there's a bunch of them on there. So, anyway, all right, we've got a half an onion. So we've got some sausage, some bell peppers, a half an onion. All right, I'm going to put in a little bit of, I need a binder, so I don't have an egg, so I'm going to put in a little bit of oatmeal, maybe a half a cup, something like that, half a cup. All right, and I'm going to mix that up. All right, I'm going to put some tomato salts, like that. Tomato salts, I'm going to put a little of that in there. Get that. I think it's probably going to be delicious. We'll see, won't we? We will see. There's been times when my husband was living and I didn't have a lot in the refrigerator, or we'd think, well, what in the world can we cook? And I just get in here in the kitchen and invent something. And it turned out so good, and he loved it. And he'd say, you need to write that down, Brenda, because we'd like to have that again. All right, I can tell that I don't have enough tomato sauce in there, so I'm going to put a little bit more. Just kind of. Okay, I believe this has got it now. All right, now I'm going to put some seasoning in there. Let's see what kind we want to put here. All right, I'm going to put some When you think of sausage, I think of Italian. So I'm going to put some Italian seasoning in it. I like a good bit. I'm going to put a little garlic powder. Okay, and let's see what else I might. Oh, salt and pepper. I want to put some of that in it. Salt and some pepper. All right, while I've got this done, my hands washed, I'm going to go ahead and get me out a pan to cook it in. I'll be right back. Goodness gracious, have y'all ever heard such a racket? I'm going to do mine in this pan right here, I think. Okay, let me mix that up. I'm going to put a little bit more Italian, I think. I love Italian on it. Okay. That looks pretty good. Let's try a little bit more of this. So, you know, this is why it's impossible to do a recipe, because I keep adding, don't I? Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to put it in my pan. I'm going to shape it in a loaf shape. I'm going to put me a little bitty, let me put a little groove down the center and I'll show you why. Not much of one, just a little one. See that little groove that I put? I'm going to fill that with, I didn't go all the way to the end, but I'm going to fill that with a little tomato sauce. Just a little bit. Okay. Goodness gracious. All right, now I'm going to put some black pepper. And you know what else I think I'm going to add? I think I'm going to add, once this gets done, I think I'm going to sprinkle some mozzarella cheese on top of it. I think that would be so good. We'll see. And if it turns out horrible, I will tell you, when I take it out of the oven, I'll say, yeah, hey, look, y'all, don't fix this. It didn't turn out good. Or I will say, it was delicious. You need to fix it. So we've got this ready now. And we're going to cook it. And we'll see how it tastes. And maybe next time when I get some meat out of the freezer, I'll read the package before I start planning my dinner, okay? All right, we'll talk to you a little bit when we take it out of the oven. Okay, y'all, our sweet tea has been steeping for about 30 minutes in this good hot water. And so now I'm going to strain it up, and this is how I do it. First of all, I'm going to put my sugar in the bottom of my pitcher so that when that hot gets on it, it melts the sugar. So what I'm going to do is go over here, and I used 5 tea bags, and I am going to use a cup of sugar. This is 1/3 of a cup, so I'll do 3 of these. Now, if it needs more later, then I'm going to add it, but I hope that it won't need more, okay? So then you just take your tea bags. What I'm going to do is I like to put a tea strainer or this thing, anything over it will work, so that they don't go down in there. So I do like this. Pour all that good tea out. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to the sink and get about a little bit of water. I'll show you why. I'm going to put some water in this boiler. And I'm going to jiggle it around a little bit so that I get all the goodie out of those tea bags. See, it's still colorful in there. All right. Now then, I'm going to go over here I'm going to stir that around in there in that sugar. And let that sugar melt with that good hot tea. Now I'm going to fill it up to about right here with my tap water. Just regular cold tap water. And I'm going to continue to stir it. I'm going to continue to stir it the whole time that it's filling up. All right, there we go. We've got our tea, and I am going to taste it because I want to make sure it's got enough sugar in it. And it does. A good thing on sweet tea is this. You can make this the day before. And you know, the other day I made the Blueberry Delight. Well, we're going to have that today too. So we're going to have the sweet tea and the Blueberry Delight. I'm going to pop this homemade meatloaf in the oven in a few minutes that I messed up on. It's going to be a sausage meatloaf. And I'm going to pop my Mexican cornbread in the oven in a little bit. We've got our tea made. And then we're going to make something else. I'll show you in just a minute. Okay, the next thing we're going to have for Sunday dinner is we're going to have creamed potatoes. This is different from mashed potatoes. Some people call them mashed potatoes. We call them creamed. And here I've got, what I'm using are these. This is a, not an Idaho. I think it's an Idaho or a russet. This is a russet potato. And so all you do on this is you just peel it real quickly with a good sharp knife. Doesn't take but a second. And I've got my water here in my pot, and I'm going to salt the water before I do this. And here's how I cut mine up. I just cut it in half down like that, and then I just start putting them in there. There we go. Now I've got the rest of them just about cut up. I was going to wait and let you see how I do it. I just cut them up like that. Doesn't take but a minute. And we're going to have 6 people for lunch. So I did 8 potatoes because my grandchildren like creamed potatoes. So I'm going to put these in my water. And I am going to salt them. Oh, there's one I missed. Goodness gracious. Y'all ever do that? All right, that's my oven preheated to 400. We've got our meatloaf and our cornbread in there, and I just put them in. All right, I'm going to give that a little salt. I'm going to put this on the eye. I'm going to turn it on high till it gets to boiling, then I'll turn it down a little bit, and then we'll go from that. I want to show y'all this. We're also today going to have some fried eggplant. And I'm going to show you how to do the fried eggplant for Sunday lunch. So I've got my bowl out and I'll show you that. But right now I want to show you this. You remember the other day when I cleaned that pot and I told you if you use it that it'll get nice and black? Well, I want you to look how black that is. We're going to fry our eggplant in this. And so I've got the grease in it. See how it's black on the outside? It's black on the inside. And I told you, I said, if you will just use your pot, it'll turn black, it'll be seasoned. That's the way to do it. And when I get through, I'll probably leave that grease in there. But if you wanted to wash it, you just wash it with a little soapy water, just like you do your dishes. But make sure you dry it really good. And then you'll be ready for the next time. It is not going to rust if you're using it. So anyway, so we'll get to boiling our potatoes, and then I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to peel these eggplant while you're gone. Save the last eggplant for you to see how I do it. I just cut the end of it off. I might have to sharpen my knife a little. Seems like it's getting a little dull. All right. Anyway, you cut the end of it off, and then I peel mine. I don't know that you have to, but I do. Sometimes that peeling can be mighty tough. So I just peel mine real quickly. For those of you who've never eaten eggplant, they are really good, y'all. And I fry these just like we fry the squash and the okra. Remember how we did that? We're going to put salt and pepper, a little bit of buttermilk, and then we're going to put some cornmeal and just a tad of flour. So we're fixing to do that, and I'm going to show you how it is done. We got that big black pot over there going with some oil in it. Anyway, I cut it long ways first. Then I'm going to cut it in fat French fries. Then I'm going to turn it this way and cut little squares out. And there you go. That's what it'll look like, okay? All right, let me do this one. It's quick, it's easy, it's fried, and it's delicious. I don't know anybody that doesn't like some good fried foods, do you? All right, there we go. We got that in there. Now I'm going to salt and pepper it. Salt it on this a little bit. And open my pepper. Pepper a little bit. Toss it. Salt this side. Y'all, I heard somebody say, Miss Brenda, you just scoot around that kitchen so fast. Well, y'all, I'm working by the clock. I'm trying to get it done before noon so we can have a meal. All right, let me get out my buttermilk. Hold on just a second. Okay, after you put your, ooh, that was too big. Let me cut him in half. Okay, after you put your salt and pepper on your eggplant, then you put some buttermilk on it. Remember to shake it. And I don't know, 2 or 3 tablespoons, I guess, just enough to wet it. That's a plenty right there. All right, now you're going to put that buttermilk all over it like this and get it all wet. Now that buttermilk is going to hold it on there like that. Now you can do fried green tomatoes cut in cubes. You do yellow squash cut in cubes. You can do zucchini cut in cubes. And anything else you want to cook. You put you some salt and pepper on there. You put you a little buttermilk. And then you put you some cornmeal. And I'm going to use I'm going to use self-rising cornmeal. And move the tea out of the way. I'm going to put 2 of these. That's about 1/3 of a cup. I don't know if it's going to be enough or not. So that's 1/3 of a cup and 1/3 of a cup. That's 2/3. I'm gonna put a little bit of flour. That helps it to stick on there. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna mix this. And if it's still gooey or wettish, then put a little more of this on it. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. See how that buttermilk just coats it, y'all. You don't need to fry your tomatoes in circles. You're talking about slow. It's slow. We ain't got time. We just got things to do, places to go, people to see. We can't stand in the kitchen frying round circles of tomatoes, because if we do, we're not going to have time to do anything else. And besides, once you got through with the first circles, they'd be soggy before you got through with the last ones. So you want to do like this. Cut all your vegetables up in cubes. Put your buttermilk, salt, and pepper, fry it, and it's going to be ready to eat in no time. All right, so I'm going to wash my hands. That's ready to fry. Okay, I'm going to turn you off for a few minutes. The potatoes are beginning to kind of start to boil. See how they're getting hot? The oil is hot. The meatloaf and the cornbread's in the oven. I've already sliced up the tomatoes. But come here, I'll show you something really pretty. This is something that I love right here. Let me sit down where I can talk to you. We'll just linger at the table a little while together. My grandmother, my big mama, these are so special to me. She took an old tablecloth. It's 100% cotton. It feels so good. And she cut it up into napkins. Look at that. And bless her sweetheart, she crocheted all around this napkin. See that little crocheted work that she did all around that. I guess you could do some tatting. That's a lost art, or crochet, but these are very special napkins to me. And I've got, as you can see, I've got 6 of them here on our table because we got 6 people to eat today. But anyway, those are special. And what you do for your family, little crocheted work or whatever you do, if it's a plant or whatever, they remember who made it. And I remember my big mama. She was a good little crocheter. And when I was little, she crocheted me some little gloves and like a little beanie hat. It just kind of went like this, and it was crocheted. And she crocheted me a tiny little purse, and it had a little crocheted handle. And those are so special. And I look at those little tiny gloves that she crocheted. So you people out there that are crocheting, do things for your family. Little napkins or whatever. It means a lot to them. Okay, y'all, our potatoes are nice and tender. I'm going to pour them in my colander. Put the dishwater. Take my potatoes and put them in my bowl that goes with my mixer. Since my oven was hot, I set my bowl over there on my top of my stove so that my pan would get hot. We don't want a cold cream potato. So you put that over here. I remember I already salted it as I cooked it. Put that down and turn it on. Let me get my spatula. Okay, now what you want to do is, this is very important to me, is this. You want to mix these until there's no knots in them. And I took a stick of butter and I melted that stick of butter. But you don't put it in yet. You wait till they're really creamy. And then I heat it up in my microwave. There's 2 cups of milk in here. I don't know if I'm going to use it all. For what I don't use, my dog Biscuit will get. So it doesn't really matter to me. But I want this. This is not just warm, it is hot. So when I do my cream potatoes, they are going to be hot. All right, let me check them here for knots. And I still got some, so I don't want to put my butter in yet. I want them to get creamy. Press them down again. They're getting there. They're getting there. And another thing I did is I took my bowl over there. I'm going to put them in this bowl right here. And it's nice and warm because I put this in the oven to get it hot while I was doing the potatoes. I don't want to put my potatoes in a cold bowl either. Okay, we'll press them down again. They're just about ready. Okay, they're real. When I mash them with this, I don't see any lumps or knots or anything like that in them. They're real creamy. All right, so now I'm going to slowly put in my butter. Okay. I'll show you how this is going to look. This is what you call creamed potatoes, not mashed potatoes, but creamed potatoes. All right, now then. So now you can see they're still real stiff. Now I'm going to start putting in, I've got my butter in there, but I'm going to start putting in my milk really slowly because I don't know how much of this milk that I'm actually going to use. But it's good and hot, so here we go. Put just a little bit in there. Just a little bit bit more, and I'm making a big fat mess. Let me get me something to put up under this thing. All right, they're getting there. They're not as creamy as I want them. I like mine light and fluffy, almost like a pudding. See there how much creamier they're looking. Let me get you where you can really see in here. See how they're looking creamy now? Let me put this down and I'll see if I can do this with one hand a while so you can watch. All right, I'm gonna put in a little more milk because we want them really, really, really creamy. I think that's gonna be about it. So let me get over here and look, see. We'll put in just a tad more. All right, that's all I'm gonna put. So I've got 1 1/4 cup left out of 2 cups. So that means I used 3/4 of a cup of really hot milk. My dog's gonna be proud to get the rest. All right, now let me show you how it's gonna look. Remember, I had this hot. This is nice and hot, warm. Now I'm gonna put my potatoes in it. Let you see how it looks. See how creamed they are. They are delicious. All right, I'm gonna put those in here. And then I'm gonna put a plate over the top of it till everybody gets here, so to keep it warm. I don't wanna have cold potatoes. You know, you remember that little thing we used to play when we were children? It said, hot potato, hot potato. Y'all remember that? I'm so glad y'all came with me today in the kitchen so I wouldn't be lonely. Woo. Let me pick it up with this. See? Look. Doesn't that look pretty? It's going to be delicious. It's going to be good, y'all. Let's take it over to the stove now. And I'm going to put a plate over it. My stove's kind of hot, so I'm just going to sit it on it. Okay, y'all, it's time to do our eggplant. Remember how we cut it up in cubes and we put salt and pepper, buttermilk, flour, and mostly cornmeal, but a little bit of flour. I'm going to test my grease to see if it's hot enough. And this is how I test it. I just put one of them in there and see. And you can tell that the grease is getting nice and hot. And where I fix to fry them, I'm going to put them in this bowl right here. I'm going to put me some paper towel in the bottom. Catch any grease that may be doing around. All right, here we go. This is the easiest way, y'all, to fix fried eggplant or fried green tomatoes or fried squash. That way you'll have time to do like my big mama did and do a little crochet and you'll have some time left. I gotta go unlock the door. The kids will be coming in just a few minutes. They're liable to show up at any second. I wish my son and his little family were here today too. Hey darling, I love you even though you're not here to eat Mama's cooking today. I know you would want to if you could. But bless his heart, he's working and going to his own little church today in their own little town. He's a good daddy. All right, let me wash my hands. I'm going to go unlock the door while y'all are waiting on me. Just stay in there. Okay, anyway, you don't remember now when you're frying things like this, you don't want to stir a lot because if you do, you're going to knock all your goodie off of it. So try not to do that. Right, I'm going to gently do around just a little bit and get them down in there. They are looking fine, y'all. Looking fine. See, here our cream potatoes sitting here on the stove with a plate over it. We're keeping those warm. And in the oven, we've got our other stuff. I think it's doing fine. Oh, yes. That Mexican cornbread in there and that creation I did with sausage from the store. I thought for sure it was hamburger meat, but hey, it may be so good I want to fix it again another time. You just do what you have to, don't you? All right, y'all want to look down in the pot? Come on. I've got it turned on 9, which is just one down from high today. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you for keeping me company today. And I just appreciate it. Going to a little meeting this afternoon. We're going to have Bible school next week, and I'm supposed to help in the kitchen a little bit. And so they're having a meeting, I guess, to see what we're going to feed the children that are going to be coming. When I was little, we went to Bible school, and all we had was grape Kool-Aid and those little round cookies that had the hole in the middle. I think they call them butter cookies or something like that. They looked like a little flower and had a hole in the middle. That's all we had at Bible school. But nowadays at Bible school, heck, they give you a supper. We had ours early in the morning. Is when we had ours. All right, I'm fixing to take this out now. I think it's cooked enough. Just about. I'm going to leave it in there about 30 more seconds. Then we'll take it out, put it in our bowl. And then I'm going to put on some more. This is going to be a long video today when I do this, and I know that. So maybe some of you will keep watching. There'll be others that have some things to do and can't watch all of it, and I certainly understand that. All right, here we go. Look how pretty that is. Can you come over here and look? See? Nice and brown. Good eggplant. In this old black pot that I cleaned for y'all the other day. I hope your black pot that you cleaned is doing as good as mine. Okay, let's put some more in. See how quick this is and how easy? And I'll use this grease again. Sometimes what I do is pour the grease off into a different bowl, and all that stuff that falls to the bottom, I just throw it in the garbage can, wipe out my skillet of this pot with some paper towels, and then put my good grease back in it. Okay, I think we're going to have about 3 pots to fry today. Close to it. We probably won't have a single one of these left, and I cooked 3 of them. That means we'll each eat a half an eggplant each if we eat them all today. That'll be something, won't it? All right, let me wash my hands again. Okay, I'm going to turn it off a little while until our cornbread comes out because our video is already longer than it should be. See you in a minute. Okay, while this finishes frying, we're going to take out our cornbread. So I'm going to turn this over here where you can watch me pop it out. We hope it pops out. I hope it doesn't stick. Woo, 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 woo. My word, how beautiful. I want you to look at these. Now, y'all, Thank you for being in the kitchen with me today, making this Mexican cornbread. Look at it. All right, here we go. I think I'm gonna put it over here. I hope it doesn't stick. You know, I told you to always just have a skillet that you just made cornbread in. So this may stick, and if it does, it does. I hope it doesn't. This old spatula, it sure comes in handy. Oh, I think it's gonna flop out good. All right, here we go. Let me get me another hot pad. I sure don't want to burn myself here today. All right, here we go. Woo, woo. Look at this. Mexican cornbread for a South Alabama girl. All right, doesn't that look pretty? That's gonna be delicious. All right, let me see. Let's turn back around here. I think I use the eggplant done. I tell you, sometimes when you're kitchen, you gotta have an assembly line going, don't you? Get everything done at the same time. I'm gonna put a knife under my cornbread, like my mother-in-law did. Turn around here, I'll show you what she always did. She always said, put a knife under your cornbread, and it keeps it from sweating. It lets the heat come out and keeps the bottom crunchy. That's what she said to do. So I always listen to my relatives, especially my mother-in-law. She's been gone for years now, but she taught me well. She taught me well. So did my mama. I've had some good teachers in my lifetime. And I know that y'all are teaching your grandbabies and your children. That's a legacy. I'm glad you're doing it. All right. Here goes our last batch, y'all. And they'll be here in just a little bit. We're coming along good. I've been trying to keep my dishes washed up as I'm going so we won't have such a mess this afternoon to have to clean up. All right, that's it. All right, we're gonna let that cook, and then I'm gonna take out our meatloaf thing in a minute. Okay, all the eggplant are done. Here's the last of it. And they're just as crispy. I've already eaten 2 of them. They are fine. And you people who say you don't like eggplant, well, you would if you ate them this way. You would love them. All right, I'm going to take this hot grease into the other room and set it on a board because I don't want the children burned. I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to get out this, what was supposed to be meatloaf, but now it's a sausage loaf. We're going to see how it is. Well, it looks good, y'all. It looks good. Turn this oven off. It's been on a long time. You know, I told you that I was going to put just a little mozzarella cheese on top since it's kind of a sausage thing instead of a regular meatloaf, and let that melt on it. I think that's going to be so good. I was going to put it in a platter, but I don't know if I can get it out of here without tearing it up. I may just leave it in what I've got it in. But let me let you get over here and look at it. I'm not going to tell you to make it because I don't know if it's going to be good or not. Because I put sausage instead of hamburger meat. But I think it's going to be good. I see a little grease floating around before the children get here. I think what I'll do, I guess it came out of the sausage. I'll blot it and get some of that grease out. We don't want all that, do we? And I may try to put it in this platter after it cools just a bit. Our mozzarella is melting on the top. This may be the best I've ever made. Who knows? It'll be a guess. I'm not gonna tell the children that I messed up. I'm gonna play like I planned it that way. See what they think. They'll tell me the truth. They'll say, Mama, this tastes horrible. Or they'll say, Mama, it tastes good. All right, let's see if we can take it up without tearing it up so I get this pan washed. Might need 2 spatulas, hadn't I? Oh, heck. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's look in this drawer, see if I got something that'll work. Here's something. It's pitiful, isn't it? But it's missing a handle, but it might work for what I'm trying to do. Oh, I'm afraid it's gonna tear up, y'all. Let's see. Tell you what I'll do, I'll cut it in half and move half of it over. Then I'll move the other half over. That ought to work, hadn't it? Our little mozzarella's melted so good on there. And that way I can go ahead and get this thing washed up. Oh yes, that looks pretty. I hope it's gonna be good. Look, see? We've invented something today. So if you're ever caught in the kitchen and you mess up, just try to make lemonade out of those lemons.